Hi guys, welcome to Pageant Professors. I'm Prita and this is Allie, and today we are talking about Die Hard. Changing your hair color leading up to a pageant is a big step. So we have some advice for you if you're going to make the big jump on how to go about it. So I think the first thing we have to do is give a shout out to one of our favorite Miss USAs who also did make a dramatic hair color jump, be Yssa Campanella, who we absolutely adore.
She's my favorite. I kind of have a girl crush on her, and I love her awesome red hair. It's kind of her signature trait these days. And she wore, for Miss USA when she won, a stunning dark green evening gown, and that with her hair was just phenomenal. And I know she's a natural blonde, and she decided to go red because she thought it matched her fiery, fierce personality, and it matched the gown perfectly. She's just a bombshell, and her hair is actually one of her signature traits. So that's pretty cool. And one of the things we want to touch on today is how to kind of change up your hair if you so desire, how much time to give yourself, the route to do it professionally and do it well, and things like that.
So if you haven't noticed, both Allie and I go through ranges of hair colors. We kind of have a little bit of ADD when it comes to hair colors.
Yes.
Which is fine. Definitely fun to change it up and make some of those jumps. But so let's start with what's the best way. If you thought about you're going to change your hair color, where should we start?
So I would say find someone that you admire whose hair you love and ask them where they get it done. Ask them who their stylist is. They'll think it's a great compliment and they'll give you an awesome referral. So once you start seeing that person, they kind of get to know you, what you're looking for, and they can help you transition professionally from one color to the next. And I strain and stress the word professionally because to do it at home is kind of a risk. You never really know what color your hair is going to turn out. And also, beauticians go to school for several years, lots of chemistry courses. The chemicals work in a way that is not conducive to an at-home test.
Right.
So don't do it. Just don't do it. I know it's cheaper. I know you think it's a quick fix, but in the end, you'll probably wind up spending more to fix it than you would originally get it colored in the first place.
I completely agree. And there's some other things to keep in mind as well. You know, when you're doing it at home, you see just the standard Feria or whatever L'Oreal's brands are, but there are different levels. There's permanent hair color, there's semi-permanent, and so I made the mistake years ago of doing I wanted to go like the darkest of dark browns, and I used a permanent color. What I didn't know at the time is to reverse that permanent color out is near impossible without completely torching your hair. So definitely go to a professional, especially if you're going lighter to darker.
Yes.
Actually just anyway, because there's so many undertones that come in depending on what your hair color currently is. None of us have white hair, so if you don't have white hair, the color you're dyeing your hair will be affected by your original color. So
exactly, and you want to give yourself at least 6 months before your pageant or your event that you're working towards, because you don't know how your hair is going to take the color, and you'll want to have it touched up at least a couple times before the event. You'll be used to it.
Right.
You'll know how it looks with your skin tone. You'll know what color clothing looks good with it. Just make sure you give yourself at least 6 months.
Agree. I mean, 6 months is, I think, even the bare minimum, because even things from your makeup trial to your test and photographs on how, that's a big thing when you're doing your headshots for the portfolio book. You don't want to have blonde hair in your headshot picture and then be a brunette on stage, because the judges may not put two and two together. If there's a ton of contestants, they might be looking for this gorgeous blonde, and you have now dyed your hair a completely different color.
Exactly.
So,
and also one of the things I wanted to bring up in my own experience, trial and error. So for my last Mrs. pageant, I purchased a black evening gown when I had platinum blonde hair, and the contrast looked awesome.
Gorgeous.
Then I went through hair schizophrenia, and I had my hair done almost black because I thought, it was mysterious, it was elegant, and I did well. I was first runner-up, but I think had I had my blonde hair, I would have done a little bit better and actually won.
Which is what is a little bit better from first runner-up.
Yeah, exactly. So, give yourself time and don't make any rash decisions. You live and you learn, trial and error. But that's just my piece of advice. And right now, I'm actually going from the black hair I had at my last pageant to blonde again. This is kind of a transitional phase, and I would never compete in a pageant during a transition. But it takes time, so give yourself several months.
Right, so if that idea of a transitional phase for hair color doesn't make a lot of sense, you're like, hey, I'm going to a stylist, I'm brunette, now I want to be blonde. It's actually not that easy. And Allie will be able to tell you all about it, but there is stages that you have to go to because you still want your hair to be healthy and shiny and not completely fried. Which, if you skip all of it and just bleach out your hair, it's
bad idea.
You don't want to do that. So there's nothing worse than fried hair.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, we are good. We are good.
So the other thing, going back to Allie's with the gown preference, if you already have a gown and if it's something that maybe is a color that works specifically with one hair color versus others, I personally would refrain from making any big jumps before the pageant. Even if you want to do it, if you already have your gown, you've already spent the money putting all that together, sometimes it's not worth it. Hold off until after the pageant, or you can do highlights. If there's something subtle that you want to change the color a little bit, maybe brighten it up. Highlights, lowlights, there's lots of tricks going back to if you go to a stylist that you can do that's not making huge dramatic changes, but can be webbed in to add shine, add depth, add volume, whatever. Color can really help play with all of those factors.
And bring them pictures. They're not mind readers, so let them know exactly what you want. Look up celebrities, look up your favorite past pageant winners, all that good stuff so that you make sure that your hair looks awesome on stage.
Yes, and finding a professional, again, via either Yelp is a great site to look for reviews if you don't have any friends that maybe have any recommendations. Or again, word of mouth, really just looking up client lists, because there are some, stylists run the gamut from really, really talented to some that are just starting out and maybe don't know all of the tricks. You also want to make sure that there's someone who, knows how to style your hair. So if you have really curly hair, go to somebody that specializes in really curly hair. Or if you want to make some dramatic colors, there's special colorists at every salon. So maybe not the same person that cuts your hair might not be the best colorist. So do your research. It'll definitely save you some heartache at the end, because I have myself ended up with bad hair colors. So that was some of our advice on how to get the perfect hair color for your pageant day. If you have any questions or maybe you need some additional advice, leave us a comment in the section below and we will definitely get back to you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Did you know that there are some really common mistakes that girls make during the evening gown portion of their competition? Click on the link in the description below and you'll be taken to our website for a free 30-minute long training course. By the end of it, you'll learn how to avoid these common mistakes and master the evening gown portion of your competition today.